I remember our first meeting with a bank, and I don't know if she literally had like the security button under the table, but like I think if she had one, she would have been pushing it. And she told us in no kind of no uncertain terms that there was no possibility that they would work with us, right? I really, I guess, feel this imperative to emphasize the long period of sort of, again, 2 years, it's a long time when you're in it, of working away with so many of these roadblocks and headwinds and people telling us that it couldn't work or shouldn't work was a bad idea. Mostly because I think that, for others, either here or elsewhere, who are sort of having that experience, I mean, it could mean that you can't actually do it, or the idea is a bad idea, or whatever, right? Or it might not, right?
What was the darkest moment? The moment where you're like, this is not going to work.
There was a moment very early on, and maybe it was a little bit more, maybe it was 6 months in. 6 months in, we still ourselves, of course, took it very seriously, and the fact that sort of our customers were relying upon us for their revenue was a big deal for us, right? And so my pager went off at 4 a.m. one night, and the API was down. And again, this is not like a social media app or something, right? This is the conduit for our customers' revenue. So it was a big deal. And so I remember kind of immediately heading to the office. We lived very close to the office. I was at the office within 5 minutes, 4 or 5 a.m., and started to kind of try to figure out, diagnose what was going wrong. And it turned out that sort of an upstream switch at our data center had failed, upshot being API was down, and we couldn't do anything about it. And it was amazingly painful, right? Because the thing is down, you sort of want to be kind of furiously typing, fixing, getting it back up, whatever, and you just couldn't. It was almost literally 8 hours. They sort of got a new switch and they replaced it, and the whole thing came back up. But that's not why it was the darkest moment. The darkest moment, of course, was because I was bracing myself for the deluge in complaints and dissatisfied customers and anger and vitriol and everything else. And 1 p.m. rolled around, and as far as I could tell, nobody had cared or noticed.
Wow, dodged a bullet.
Kind of on some level that was good news, but as I reflected on it, I realized that it was actually kind of existentially bad news. I'd been up till very late the night before, maybe until 1 or 2, and I'd gotten very little sleep. And so I just remember walking home from the office to go catch a little bit of sleep after that, and it was not a great day.